Hello, everyone. It seems as if you have an excellent turnout, and I'm very pleased to be here, but I want you to know I had to stop knocking on doors for Kamala before I came here. And when I leave, I'm going to go back and I'm going to knock on some more doors. So good evening, everyone. It is indeed an honor to be here today with the Opportunity Finance Network for the 40th Annual Conference. I'm grateful to be in the presence of so many of you who have been instrumental in strengthening and preserving community development financial institutions all over this country. So thank you for your tireless efforts. We know that CDFIs, for example, are the lifelines for underserved communities, often stepping in to provide financial products and services for communities who have been historically and systematically shut out from access to traditional banking services. This is why, as the previous chairman of the now the top Democrat on the House Financial Services Committee, supporting CDFIs has been and remains a top priority of mine. And so before I say anything else, I want that gavel back so that I can protect CDFIs. For instance, after the pandemic hit, Congress quickly passed the CARES Act in March 2020 and launched the Paycheck Protection Plan, or the PPP. However, it quickly became apparent that the hardest hit small businesses, including those owned by people of color, were not getting the relief they needed in the first PPP round. Mega banks were prioritizing their concierge clients over truly small businesses that needed help. That's why I worked with the then chair of the Small Business Committee, Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez, and stakeholders like OFN to secure an additional $60 billion, and we set it aside for community financial institutions, including, of course, CDFIs, in the second round of PPP to ensure diverse and truly small businesses could receive assistance and keep their doors open. My next endeavor was to ensure affordable capital and credit continued to flow into long underserved communities, including low-income communities of color, most devastated by the pandemic. In December 2020, I worked with my Republican and Democratic colleagues in the House and the Senate, especially Senator Mark Warner. Give him a big round of applause. We got together and we were able to secure an additional $12 billion in capital, investments, and grants for CDFIs and minority depository institutions to allow them to expand and provide financial access to small businesses and businesses owned by people of color. I'd like to thank the members of OFN for your efforts in getting us the legislation that you supported, supporting CDFIs all across the finish line, including testifying before Congress and sharing your stories about how critical CDFIs are to promoting equal access to affordable credit. I'm also thankful that OFN participated in an advisory committee of CDFI and MDI leaders that Senator Warren and I organized, along with Vice President Kamala Harris's office, to ensure this historic $12 billion of grants and investments were deployed by Treasury and the CDFI fund effectively. I've been pleased to hear from many CDFIs and MDIs that have received these funds about how they have leveraged them all across America. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Now, the last Congress, I also led the effort to renew the State Small Business Credit Initiative, or the SSBCI, with $10 billion in federal funds to support tens of billions of dollars in new loans, investments, and technical assistance to support small businesses. These funds were intended to ensure that a recovery from the pandemic was broadly and fairly shared. States, territories, and tribal governments all across the country are participating, and here in California, everybody's participating, and we have allotted nearly $1.2 billion in SSBCI funds that have several state agencies working with financial institutions, including CDFIs, so that these funds can be leveraged to support billions in new financing for small businesses. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, I joined the Treasury Department to announce a $10 million technical assistance grant to California for legal accounting and other advice to help very small businesses and minority-owned businesses secure the loans and investments they need. So, based on the latest data from Treasury, it appears that at least $6 billion of the SSBCI supported loans and investments have been made thus far, and more small business financing is being extended every day. I am pleased that a number of OFN members across the country, including right here in my district, the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation, and Axion Opportunity Fund based in California, are participating as lenders. For those that are not participating yet, please get in touch with your state agencies administering the program where you are located. You can find contact information for your state on the internet. Of course, our work to support CDFIs doesn't end there. Last Congress, the House passed my bill entitled Promoting and Advancing Communities of Color Through Inclusive Lending Act. As a part of a broader package of racial economic justice reforms, now if enacted, my bill would authorize $4 billion in additional capital grants, technology support, and other reforms to support CDFIs and MDIs. This Congress, on the 30th anniversary of the creation of the CDFI Fund, I reintroduced this bill. I also worked with Senator Warner to send several letters over the past year, including one to the Environmental Protection Agency to ensure CDFIs could participate in the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, and another to urge the CDFI Fund to do more to address the technology needed of CDFIs. Additionally, whenever I meet with the big bank CEOs, I press for updates on what their companies are doing to partner with and support CDFIs and MDIs, and I want to keep doing that. So as you all know this very well, we've made a lot of progress supporting the invaluable work of CDFIs, and I'm committed to building on our successes to advance further support for CDFIs, and I look forward to continuing this important work with you all. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're in a bit of a crisis now as we try to make sure that we can protect some of the works that we have been doing for so many years. And all of that's at stake. I want you to take a few minutes and read 2025, a document that talks about the vision of others who don't think the same way that we think about the assistance to small businesses and opening up credit opportunities. But if we do what we need to do during this election, we will be protected and we will be able not only to continue what we're doing, but to improve on it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been in this business for a long time, and I want you to know that I intend, before I leave this business, to close the wealth gap in this country. It can be done. It can be done. You are a part of that effort. I thank you for the work that you're doing. We've got a lot more to do. I'd like to spend the evening with you, but I've got to go get Kamala elected. Thank you very much.